Welcome to IB360. In this video, we will discuss about the section B of the HL paper. So the first question is, here you can see, write down an expression for f dash x. Here fx is given. So we have f of x is equals to ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d, and we need to find out the f dash x. So this is very easy problem. Just you need to derivate this first, plus bx square plus cx plus d. As you can see from here, we are getting 3ax square plus 2bx plus c. So this is the value of f dash x. This is the value of f dash x, and we have got that. Now you have to find out that it is given that if inverse does not exist, then we have to show this particular thing. So it is very easy. Whenever there is told that the inverse does not exist for any algebraic function, it means it will have some type of graph like this, or some type of graph like this, or you can say some type of graph of this, where the particular point will meet the x-axis twice, this type of graph. So if this type of graph arises, then this will not pass the horizontal line test. If it is not passing the horizontal line test, so it means it will not have any inverse. Now the thing is, how we will check that? We know that if the discriminant is greater than 0, if discriminant is greater than 0, then it has two real solution. So if it has two real solution, then obviously the discriminant, that is b square minus 4ac, this must be greater than 0. If b square minus 4ac, this must be greater than 0. Now what is b? B is here 2b. Just you see this equation. So 2b whole square. Don't be puzzled by this equation. This is the general form. And here is the actual form of the quad equation. This is the quad equation. So we are using this only here. So the value of b will be 2b minus 4 into value of a is 3a into value of c is c, greater than 0. So from here we are getting 4b square minus 12ac greater than 0. So we are getting b square minus 3ac greater than 0. So this is the second question that we need to verify. So given that f inverse does not exist, so as it does not exist, so b square minus 4ac greater than 0 will be there. So if b square minus 4ac, this is the, I have told that this is the general form, so don't be puzzled from this form actually. So we will put the values from the actual equation and we are getting this. So this is our answer. Okay, so now we will move toward the second part of this question, that is, consider the function gx equals to half x cube minus 3x square plus 6x minus 8 where x belongs to R. Show that G inverse does not exist. So here it is saying that show that G inverse does not exist. Actually we have already have seen that if b square minus 4ac, I am giving it here, if b square minus 4ac, this is greater than 0, then the inverse will not exist. Then inverse will not exist. If it is b square minus 4ac greater than 0, then inverse will not exist. So obviously we will check b square minus 4ac here and we will tell whether the inverse will exist or not. Okay, so this is the thing. It is also a very easy problem, but just you need to know the basic parts that or have already been discussed. So here, as you can see, b is given as this equation, a is here and c is here, so we will apply all these values. So b equals to minus 3, a equals to half, and c equals to 6. So and our formula was, this was the general formula, and our derived formula was b square minus 3ac greater than 0. From the previous slide you can see the derived formula was b square minus 3ac greater than 0. So obviously you can apply this here. If the b, so minus 3 whole square, so basically we have to find out the value of this particular part. We will see whether we will see what is the value of this. So minus 3 into value of a is half into value of c is 6. So it is 9 minus 9, so equals to 0. So we are getting that b square minus 3ac is equals to 0. Now the condition was, if b square minus 3ac is greater than 0, then inverse will not exist. But for this case you can see, b square minus 3ac equals to 0, and the condition is b square minus 3ac, if it is less than equals to 0, then inverse will exist. So for this case, so as b square minus 3ac is equals to 0 here, so G inverse of x exists. This is the first problem that we have just solved, that is this will exist. Okay, now the next problem, we will move toward the next problem, that is gx can be written in the form p into x minus 2 whole cube plus q, where pq is belonging to r. Okay, so first we will elaborate this. Okay, so just see x minus 2 whole cube, p into x minus 2 whole cube plus q here. So just elaborate this part. So p into, this will be x cube minus 3 into x square into 2 plus 3 into x into 2 square minus 2 cube plus q. Just see the steps whatever I am doing here. So p is basically equals to x cube minus 6x square plus 12x minus 8 plus q. Now see the original equation, that is gx is equals to half of x cube minus 3x square plus 6x minus 8. So from here obviously we can write p equals to half. If we apply p equals to half here, so the equation will be 1 by 2 x cube minus, you can see here I am applying p equals to half in this equation, so minus 3x square plus 6x minus, here if we apply this it will be minus 4. So and in original equation here it is minus 8, so again we need minus 4 again in the term. So after applying p I am getting this, and this is the leftover part, so this must be q. So q equals to minus 4, so I am getting my answer, that is p equals to half and q equals to minus 4. So this is the answer that I need to find out, that is find the value of p and find the value of q. So value of p is half and value of q is minus 4. So from where I am getting this value? I am getting this value from just by comparing these two equations. Now I have to find out the third problem, that is find g inverse of x. Okay, so we will find g inverse of x. It is also very easy, just you need to apply the normal problem. Okay, so let's start by find the g inverse of x. So already we have got, that is y equals to half of x minus 3 whole cube minus 4. Just we have rewritten this form using this formula. Okay, using this formula we have rewritten the form, that is p is half and q is minus 4. Okay, p is half and q is minus 4. Then y equals to half into x minus 3 whole cube minus 4. Now just do the operations here and you will find your answer, that is y plus 4 equals to half into x minus 3 whole cube Okay, so from here you are getting 2 into y plus 4. This is equals to x minus 3 whole cube. So x minus 3 whole cube is equals to 2 into y plus 4. So x minus 3 equals to cube root of 2 into y plus 4. So x equals to cube root of 2 into y plus 4 plus 3. So we need to rewrite this portion. The equation was x minus 2. Sorry, the equation was x minus 2. So here will be x minus 2. Okay, so here will be x minus 2. So this term will also be plus 2 here. Just you have to give it here x minus 2, 2, and again 2, 2. So this will be x minus 2 into, so x equals to plus 2. Now just rewrite the function in terms of x and you will have your inverse function. So g inverse of x is equals to nothing but cube root of 2 into x plus 4 minus plus 2. So this is the inverse of the given function. This is the inverse of the given function. Okay, so in this way you can do the third problem also. It was also again a very simple problem. Now here it is given that state each of the transformations in the order in which they are applied. Okay, so the graph y equals to gx may be obtained by transforming the graph of y equals to x cube using a sequence of 3 transformations. State each of the transformations in order in which they are applied. Okay, so we need to apply some transformation here, that is basically like this: y equals to half x minus 2 whole cube minus 4. This was our equation. So to graph this equation, we will need to have the base equation of y equals to x cube. So if it is the base equation, so obviously you know the graph will be like this. For y equals to x cube, the graph will be like this. Now to plot this graph, we need to have 3 transformations here. First transformation is this, second transformation is this, and third transformation is this. So if we do these transformations, then we will get, after adding the 3 transformations in this particular equation, we will get this equation. So the 3 transformations are: first is, that is to translate right by 2 units. We have to translate right by 2 units. Second transformation, translate right by 2 units for this particular part. Then vertical compress by scale factor 2. Then vertical compression by scale factor. This is just because this term. Okay, and translate down by 4 units. So this is just because this particular term, that is minus 4. That's why. So after all these applications, we will have our graph, but to match the coordinates, we have to reapply some values for the coordinates. So let us see the question number. So this question will to state the transformations that we need to apply. Here are the 3 transformations. Now we need to sketch the graph. Okay, so now we will sketch the graph. So to sketch the graph, we need some values here. To sketch the graph, first we need some values. So first I am writing, I am drawing the axis here. So it is freehand drawing. Obviously you will understand that there are some fluctuations, but you will understand the fact before. So if y equals to 0, if we are giving that y equals to 0, then half of x minus 2 whole cube minus 4 equals to 0. So from here we are getting x minus 2 whole cube minus 8 equals to 0. So we are getting x minus 2 whole cube equals to 8. So we are getting this is equals to 8. So if it is equals to 8, then obviously x minus 2 equals to 2 and x equals to 4. So at y equals to 0, the value of x is 4, or we can say in vice versa, that is when x equals to 4, the value of y will be 0. So if we are putting some points like here, so this is the point where this is a point where it is the coordinate is 4 comma 0 here. Now here we have applied y equals to 0. Again we need to apply x equals to 0 also. So if we put x equals to 0, then from this equation we will have y to be minus 8. So if x is 0, then y must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 somewhere here, that is minus 8 comma 0. Okay, so y will be minus 8, sorry. So this will be 0 comma minus 8. So this is the point. Now just you need to join the points for plotting the graph. This is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. So the point will be like this. So in this way the point will be there. Now as you can see, sketch the graph of y equals to gx. It is done. The graph is y equals to g of x and y equals to g inverse x on the same set of axes, indicating the points where each graph crosses the coordinate values. Now you know that when we have the value of y equals to gx, and to draw y equals to g inverse x, just we need a y equals to x line and we need to draw the mirror image of this function. Now for minus 8, then the value will be here. This will be minus 8, this will be minus 8, this will be minus 8 comma 0, and the 4 value will be here, that is 0 comma 4 for inverse. So just we need to draw the image or mirror image of this function, that will be like this. So as it is freehand drawing, but I think you have understood how we have constructed the g inverse of x. We have just we just have drawn y equals to x line and we just have the mirror image of this particular line here. Okay, so in this way we have drawn the value here and we have drawn the pictures here. So the coordinates are, as you can see, I am giving a point out here. This is the coordinate for y equals to gx, and these are the coordinates for y equals to g inverse x. Always remember one thing, that is, if the function has inverse and you know the graph of the function, then obviously you can draw the function by y equals to x line just by creating the mirror image.